What's up, everyone? It's been a while. +4 charisma here, and today I'm going to show you how to make an Illithid mask so that you can go about, when you do go about, as an Illithid. You all know that I love Illithids, and what better way to keep someone else away than to have 4 tentacles coming out of your face that somebody knows could possibly grab them to devour their brain. Honestly, I can't think of any reason why you would not want to wear an Illithid mask. The stuff that you're going to need are a pair of scissors. If you feel like using a pattern, a paper pattern, I cut this one out. You're going to want to measure it. You don't have to use a ruler. You can just use like string or something from where you want it to start at your nose to where you want it to come under your chin. And keep in mind that it's going to need to curve around a little bit. And that's about it. You don't, as I said, you don't have to use a ruler. You can use whatever. You're going to need some purple fabric or blue. This was the closest I could find to an Illithid's color. It's described as mauve, so if you have mauve fabric, that would be better. Whatever fabric you want to use other than your outside covering of your fabric. I have some polypropylene fabric and some quilting fabric, and then a sheet that was like 6,000 thread count or something cotton. Some kind of hair ties or elastic. Wires, you can use pipe cleaner, but I have this around, some kind of crafting wire. They probably have a specific name, but I don't know it. Fabric scraps. And also a sewing machine. You're gonna want that. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut out the purple fabric and then the rest of the fabric. And then we're going to sew it together. And then we're going to sew it some more. And then we're going to sew on the elastic. And then we're going to sew on the nose wire. And we're going to make the tentacles and sew them on somewhere in between that. So let's get started. There's our pattern. Here's our purple for the outside. Find a spot that you can fold it over. Lay your pattern on and then cut it out. I'm going to cut it slightly bigger than the pattern to leave a margin for error. The next layer I'm going to use is a layer of polypropylene. I'm going to fold that over and cut it. The next layer I'm using is my high thread count sheet. I have a side that is actually 4. I'm going to cut all 3 of those at once. This is what we have right now. What you're going to do is you're going to take the 2 purple ones, and those are going to be put on the inside. And then you're going to put the layer that you want to be the second outermost layer on either side of the purple ones. So once again, we're layering it. The 2 purple are together on the inside. There's 2 cotton layers on either side of the purple. 2 layers of polypropylene on either side. You don't have to use polypropylene, but I had some, so I'm going to put it in there for a little filtration. And then there's going to be 2 more cotton pieces of fabric, and those are actually going to be placed together on top, like so. Try and match them up. And then you're going to sew along the curve here to the end. I will see you at the sewing machine, which is actually at this table. So I'll see you at this table after I put the sewing machine back onto it. I'm just using a straight stitch for this, in case. If you don't sew, the reason I went back and forth a couple times is because that's how you keep the thread from unwinding. It ties it off. This is what we have here. First we'll fold this piece over and fold the seam in and this around, like so. And then get the purple in the middle and turn it all the way inside out like that. We have the inside and the outside. Now it's time to put the tentacles on, because before we sew the sides, I don't want to sew the tentacles through the entire mask, because the more thread you put into it, the less potential it has to filter or catch droplets. Setting everything else aside, we're going to make the tentacles by making long triangles. This was clearly an old shirt. Keep in mind that you're not going to want them too long and heavy, because otherwise they won't seal properly to your face. And you want that. You want them sealed to your face. For the tentacles, I've doubled up the purple fabric and cut them into 4 vaguely triangular shapes. Vaguely triangular, vaguely tentacle. Doesn't have to be precise. Tentacles are, you know, so yeah, whatever. So now we're going to sew these together. And then after that, make sure that if there's a seam, that is on the outside while you're sewing, so that when you flip it over, it does not show the seam on the true outside, because that's the true outside. This is the right way. Okay, so we're gonna sew. So we're gonna sew. You're gonna want to leave the end opened here at the wider part, because we're going to stuff it with fabric. Move to the other side for a second. We are going to turn these the other way, side out. This is the right side out, even though it's going to say inside out. I don't know. Well, it's stuck. There's that. Do all the other ones. Alright, so here's what we got. Now, we will stuff these with fabric. You want to try and make them look semi-smooth so that they look sort of, well, tentacly. Yeah. All I'm doing here is rolling the fabric and slipping it in. And I'm going to do that until I like the way they look. So I suggest you do that too. Bow to my will, fabric. You could put wire in these so that you could bend them how you want, although they already actually bend pretty well, a little bit, to adjust, so it's whatever. You do you. I mean, it's not like I actually know what I'm doing here, so, you know, you do what you want. Alright, we finally got all that business done. We have these 4 tentacles, we have the mask. Now we have to attach the tentacles to the mask and finish the rest of the mask. What you're going to do is arrange the tentacles in a way that you think looks amazing onto the mask and attach it. I would put the 2 longest tentacles on top and the shorter ones on the bottom. Attach it only to the top layer because you don't want to sew through your entire mask for this. You're going to take your tentacle and fold it in, and wherever you want it sewn, flip it over and sew it onto that spot upside down. So you're going to attach this one to the other side of the nose in a similar spacing to the one on the opposite side. Once again, flip it up. Now you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Now that we have the tentacles on, it's time to fold the edges over and sew along the edge. So this is kind of tricky because there's a lot of fabric here. Basically, try and lay it as flat as possible, matching up all the edges, and then flip them over. When you sew, I would start at the top and work your way to the bottom in order to try and get an even seam. Take that off because it gives me a little more room to work here. As you can see, I did not do a good job getting this to flip over to the other side. However, I can take a separate piece of fabric and bring it along the top later if I need to, so that's okay. We're going to do the other side. And we're gonna do the flippy seam on the bottom. So now it's time to attach the straps and the wire. The way I'm going to do that is, first I'm going to cut this down. Not really for that, and that was terrible for those scissors. I'm going to bend the ends so that they don't stick straight into the fabric. This is going to be the nose wire. You get more purple fabric, cut it, and fold this into it, leaving a strip or sewing. You want strips on the ends too. Cut that excess off, and make sure you don't sew the wire because it'll break your needle. Reinforce the ends, or despite your best efforts, the wire will still come out in the wash. Broke my needle. Replace the needle. Here's the old one. Very sad. Too bad I can't follow my own advice. Alright, let's finish this. The last things we're going to do is attach the wire onto the top of the mask here, and then put the straps on, and then we'll be done. It'll be great. So I'm attaching it to the top and folding it over the top to sew it. Make sure to put the wire in the middle. Ooh, I am so almost out of thread here. And there's that. Also, I'm out of black thread. Yes, we're using brown. I'll just keep the bobbin thread black. Oh, wonderful. Apparently the bobbin is out too. I'll replace the bobbin thread, replace the actual thread, fix the needles. Almost done. Now all we have to do is put on the hair ties and trim it up so it doesn't have threads and stuff hanging off. The way that I recommend you do that is to put it on and see where you want it to fall. So I'm going to put the fold about right there, like so, and then you're going to want to do the same type of thing on the other side. Just fold this over, slip the hair tie in there, sew it together in a line here, tucking in the rough edges so that they do not show. Make sure that the sides match by folding it together. So you're gonna have to bend the wire some here. Fold it in at the same area as the opposite side. Just adjust until it matches up. Slip the hair tie in. Make sure to do that first. And sew. Now all you have to do is cut away all the rough pieces, the strings, and like this part. Just cut that right off. Who needs that garbage? Get rid of any crappy looking things on there. You don't got room for crappity crap on your mask. Got enough of that in our lives already. Yep. This top part folds down, so it adds like an extra layer to help seal your mask to your face. This is what we got. If you're having trouble keeping it on your ears, you can just take a piece of string. I just cut up a piece of fabric and tie it to the two hair ties behind you. Now people will most likely definitely stay at least 6 feet away from you at the grocery store and accomplishes the goal. And just being cool. That's what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, please drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, well, I got brains to eat. I'll see you later. Take care.